Please welcome your host, Director, Toronto Region Operations, Enbridge Gas, Tracy T. Martin.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tracy T. Martin, Director for Toronto Region Operations at Enbridge Gas, and I'm happy to be your MC for this event. I'd like to begin with a few housekeeping items. Out of respect for the speakers and your fellow guests, please ensure your mic remains muted. The speaker panel will be available following remarks to answer questions, so we encourage you to submit your questions during the event. If you would like to address a specific speaker, please highlight that person as part of your question. On behalf of Enbridge Gas and Toronto Community Housing Corporation, I'm pleased to welcome you all here today to celebrate our decade-long partnership that has resulted in a significant reduction in emissions while increasing the level of comfort and accessibility for residents. With us today are the Honourable Todd Smith, Ontario's Minister of Energy, Deputy Mayor Ana Bailão from the City of Toronto, Sharma, CEO, Toronto Housing Corporation, Melanie Gorindahar, VP Business Development and Regulatory at Enbridge Gas, colleagues, partners, members of the media. Before we hear from our esteemed speakers today, we'd like to share a short video to highlight Enbridge Gas's affordable housing multi-residential program.
How did this affordable housing provider reduce natural gas use by up to 40%? With free expert help and incentives from the Enbridge Gas Affordable Multifamily Housing Program. They upgraded to high-efficiency systems, including a high-efficiency boiler, energy recovery ventilator, and heat recovery ventilation. Now they're enjoying lower operating costs, improved comfort for residents, and a reduced carbon footprint. This program is ideal for social and municipal housing providers, shelters, co-ops, rent-geared to income housing, and eligible market-rate multifamily buildings. Make your building more affordable in 4 easy steps with help from Enbridge Gas. Simply contact our Energy Solutions advisors for free help to identify energy-saving opportunities for your building. If you implement our recommendations, we'll provide significant incentives to help offset project costs. Once approved, have your energy-efficient upgrades installed. Then we'll help you submit your application form, and you'll receive your incentive check in the mail. Ready to start saving? Connect with an Energy Solutions advisor today.
First, please welcome the Honourable Todd Smith, Ontario's Minister of Energy.
Well, thanks very much, Tracy, and good afternoon to everybody that's joined today's celebration in recognition of this decade-long partnership between Enbridge Gas and the Toronto Community Housing Corporation. Really great to be here with Jag and Melanie and Deputy Mayor Bylaw and everybody who's joined us on this call here this afternoon. Today's event represents another step forward in our government's commitment to creating a world-class energy system, one that's clean and reliable and affordable for all Ontarians. Ontario is proud to have one of the cleanest energy systems in the world, with more than 90% of our electricity generation coming from non-emitting sources, and that's thanks to our diverse supply mix that we have. Our government recognizes the need for ongoing partnerships and innovative options to continue to reduce emissions and protect the environment. And I'm pleased to see a major organization in the energy sector such as Enbridge Gas leading the way, working with Toronto Community Housing Corporation to reduce the corporation's carbon footprint. Through Enbridge Gas's affordable housing multi-residential program, TCHC received more than $1 million in incentives in 2020 and 2021 across 26 different projects, enabling them to implement energy efficiency upgrades across their social housing stock. And this helped to both reduce emissions and reduce energy costs, a win-win all the way around. This partnership significantly contributes to the TCHC's ability to enhance its housing communities while benefiting residential residents and with affordable utility costs and increased comfort in their homes. In addition, the partnership fully supports Ontario's emissions reduction goals for 2030 and beyond. Ontario is already leading the country in decarbonization, and this continuing partnership is expected to save more than 26 million cubic meters of natural gas, as well as provide $7.8 million in savings on gas costs over the lifespan of these equipment upgrades. I applaud Enbridge Gas and the Toronto Community Housing Corporation on this continued partnership, which will lead the way for similar collaborations across our province. I'm especially pleased that the delivery of these upgrades is improving living conditions and comfort for thousands of tenants right across the city of Toronto. So great to be here with you all today. And Tracy, I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you, Minister Smith. Now please welcome Ana Bailão, Deputy Mayor of the City of Toronto.
Thank you, Tracy. Also a pleasure to be here representing the City of Toronto and Toronto Community Housing as a board member as well, and to join the Minister and our fantastic CEO, Jag Sharma, that has joined us not too long ago, but is doing an incredible job. So thank you, Jag. As chair of the city's Planning and Housing Committee, I work with many partners on the housing file in our city. Likewise, as TCHC board member, along with my board colleagues, I recognize the value of relationships like the one we are celebrating here today. Whether it is building the affordable housing that our city needs or working to improve the housing that already exists, like the many thousands of units at TCHC, or in advancing our efforts towards net zero emissions, the values of cooperation, collaboration, and partnerships are foundational to our success. It is how we build more affordable and more livable communities. It is how we improve the housing we already have. And it is how we will successfully realize our climate change goals as we move forward towards our objective of achieving net zero emissions. By working together, as they have done for over 10 years, Toronto Community Housing and Enbridge are achieving great successes. And they include reducing the Toronto Community Housing carbon footprint. And let's be mindful that Toronto Community Housing is the largest landlord in the city. We're talking about a few thousand buildings in here, so this has a great impact. Reducing the costs, which allows these funds to be used elsewhere. As we know, social housing providers are always short on cash, so anything that we save is greatly appreciated and very well used to improve the lives of our tenants. Making TCHC communities more comfortable for our residents and helping the city to reach its emission targets. Like the Minister said, it's a win-win, no-brainer here. The financial commitment of more than $1 million in incentives to reduce, sorry, I lost myself in here, to reduce the Toronto Community Housing carbon footprint is very much appreciated. So is the effort that saves us more than 1.3 million cubic meters of natural gas, and along with it, the greenhouse reduction of 2,557 metric tons of CO2 annually. These are numbers, but they're also measurable in terms of the benefits and accomplishments that cooperation and collaboration can achieve. As you will know, the City of Toronto, in partnership with other levels of government, has made substantial investments in capital repairs with Toronto Community Housing communities. We have a robust capital plan that is doing quite well. I mean, we just received an update from our CEO recently, and we're actually ahead of where we wanted to be. So kudos to our staff and to all our partners that helped us achieve that. We are truly grateful to have partners like Enbridge Gas helping us in our work to improve the homes of TCHC tenants who live in these communities. And it's more than 100,000 people in our city that live in TCHC communities. Again, thank you all for inviting me here to join you. Thank you to all that are here today, and Toronto Community Housing and the city and Enbridge for this excellent partnership. Tracy, back to you.
Thank you, Ana. Please welcome Jag Sharma, CEO, Toronto Community Housing.
Thank you, Tracy, and thank you, Melanie, for the support that we've had for the past decade. I'd like to start by recognizing Deputy Mayor Bylaw and the City of Toronto for their leadership in climate action, as well as Minister Smith for your support for programs such as Enbridge's Affordable Housing Multi-Residential Program. At Toronto Community Housing, we're not just focused on delivering housing for tenants, we're focused on delivering comfortable homes and sustainable communities. These are communities in which people are raising their children, they're growing older, they're retiring, and there's an incredible sense of pride. Toronto Community Housing is committed to a 25% reduction in energy consumption by 2028. And the homes in our portfolio need to be in a state of good repair. The way in which we conduct those capital repairs needs to be strategically aligned to our climate change solutions. That's why I'm pleased to be here with Enbridge, celebrating our partnership. We are working together to cut our energy costs, reduce our carbon footprint, and modernizing our buildings. All of these with the goal of finding great solutions that are going to deliver more comfortable units for our tenants. The savings that we recoup through the program, they're reinvested in the communities in which our tenants live, and they focus on helping us deliver our vision of quality homes in vibrant communities where people are proud to live and work. In 2020 and 2021, we completed 26 projects, as Minister Smith had indicated. These were projects such as combined heat and power, upgraded boilers, and doing energy audits for our buildings. The projects have resulted in just over $1 million of savings, and as Deputy Mayor Bylaw had indicated, approximately 2,557 metric tons of carbon dioxide being reduced. With the support of Enbridge and our partners in government, we are well on our way to meeting our deliverable of 25% reduction in 2028. Thank you again, Minister Smith and Deputy Mayor Bylaw, for your support, and certainly thank you to Enbridge for your continued partnership. I'm excited for the projects that we've delivered already, but I'm even more excited for what the future holds for us. Back to you, Tracy.
Thank you, Jag. And to wrap our esteemed speaker lineup, we'll hear from our very own Melanie Gorindahar, VP, Business Development and Regulatory here at Enbridge Gas. Welcome, Melanie.
Thank you, Tracy. And thank you to all our speakers today and guests who were able to join us to celebrate our partnership with Toronto Community Housing. I just have a few remarks here. We all know that climate change is a complex issue, and it requires organizations, communities, and individuals to work together. And we also possess different strengths, abilities, and capacity for tackling this massive challenge. So while individuals do their part at home by recycling, increasing the energy efficiency of their homes, competing to compost programs that the city runs, communities look to bring innovation through bigger initiatives, such as what the City of Toronto is doing. And finally, organizations such as Enbridge Gas contribute by providing leadership and expertise through clean energy partnerships, investment, and program. Enbridge is so proud to partner with Toronto Community Housing. With Toronto Community Housing's vision of what they can achieve in terms of energy efficiency reductions, we've been very pleased to provide more than $1 million in incentives in 2020 and 2021 alone through our affordable multi-residential housing program. As you've heard already from our speakers today, these incentives have a triple bottom benefit. Not only do they reduce emissions for our planet, they also provide comfort for the residents, which is particularly important through the pandemic. And finally, they allow TCHC to redirect cost savings from natural gas into other areas such as safety and accessibility. So this partnership showcases exactly why natural gas is needed today as an affordable and reliable source of energy, and we are thrilled to provide the support to TCHC as they reduce their emissions. But that being said, Enbridge certainly recognizes the need for a clean energy future, and we're pleased to share that we are much more than natural gas. We are energy leaders. We have invested significantly in alternative and innovative green technologies, such as hydrogen, renewable natural gas, compressed natural gas, geothermal, wind and solar, as well as hybrid energy systems. And we envision an integration of these energy sources as the pathway to net zero. Working together, doing what we can, when we can, and at every level and from every angle. I'm so proud and excited, so proud of the work we've done over a number of years to support our large commercial clients across Ontario, such as TCHC, increasing efficiency in their operations and contributing to greening our province. I'm excited as we look towards the future, discovering new technologies, strengthening our partnerships, and creating new ones. and integrating energy sources in innovative ways and engaging in research, open discussion, and collaboration. Thank you all, and now back to Tracy.
Thank you, Melanie. Yes, it's certainly remarkable what can be accomplished when we work in collaboration towards a collective goal. Thank you to our valued speakers and guests for joining us today to mark this milestone. We look forward to continuing our work with Toronto Community Housing, the City of Toronto, and the province as part of our transition to a clean energy future. Now, if all speakers could join me on screen, we will proceed to the question and answer portion of our event, which will be moderated by Krista Luxton, a member of our external communications team here at Enbridge Gas. Thank you and welcome, Krista.
Sorry about that. Thank you, Tracy. Our first question is for Minister Smith. Minister Smith, how does conservation fit into the overall provincial goal of reducing emissions in Ontario?
Thanks for that, Krista. And again, it's great to join all of you here today. I just wanted to briefly touch before I answer your question on Melanie's comments. There's no silver bullet to what we're doing here. It's going to take all kinds of innovative ideas to get us to net zero. And Melanie touched on a number of the ways that we're working together across the industry. It's a very exciting time to be the Ministry of Energy. And I love working with Melanie and the great team at Enbridge that really does think outside the box. But to answer your question, Krista, any natural gas conserved or any natural gas not used because of more efficient furnaces and other conservation measures reduces emissions, and that saves money. So again, we go back to that win-win of reducing emissions and saving money. And these types of innovative partnerships that we're talking about here today demonstrate that it's possible to make huge strides towards our climate goals and create a greener future for all Ontarians. So I'm down here in Windsor right now, where we just announced the latest local distribution company to come online with the Green Button Standard, which is going to empower local individuals to take control over their energy bills. But there's a lot going on in this sector, and it's great to partner with Enbridge and folks right across the energy sector. So thanks for that question.
Great, thank you. And our next question is for Enbridge. So Melanie, that's you. Why does Enbridge Gas provide conservation programs? Isn't this counterintuitive for a gas company?
Not at all. So Enbridge Gas has been providing energy conservation programs since 1995. And over this period of time, we have saved over 54 million tons of carbon dioxide. So huge benefits, and ultimately we are in the business of serving customers. So anything we can do to help our customers conserve energy saves them money, and we have a framework that allows us to continue delivering these programs and constantly innovating them. So, we are so proud to be able to offer this. It's the product of an enlightened government, an enlightened regulator, and certainly an entire ecosystem that allows us to deliver these programs, including our delivery partners, our customers, and it's just fantastic that Ontario has been so progressive for so long. Thank you.
That's great. And there's actually a follow-up question to that one. Somebody is asking, what is combined heat and power?
So combined heat and power is a technology that allows you to provide power. And in the act of providing power, there's heat generated that can then be used to heat a space. So it creates very efficient technology, and it's a very efficient use of fuel.
Okay, thank you for clarifying for those of us who aren't as technical. That's great. So the next question is for the City of Toronto. Ana, Toronto has an ambitious plan to achieve net zero by 2040, and you are a leader in this. How do you see partnerships with industry, such as this one, playing a role in achieving your goals?
Like the question says, it is an ambitious target. I think we're trying to lead on it, but we also recognize that the only way we're going to lead is with partnerships. There's no one government that can do this alone. This needs to be programs that and incentives and changes and the way that we built, and all this needs to be done, and it's part of our Transform TO, from our own buildings and the way that we're building to, you know, how people do their own homes and how we support them to change that. And that needs a lot of cooperation, right? It needs innovation and cooperation. I think are the two key elements if we're going to tackle climate change is innovation and cooperation and commitment. Obviously, I think that we all need commitment, which I think is increasing significantly because everybody in our city, our residents, are seeing the impacts and effects that we're having around the world if we don't tackle climate change head on, right? We're seeing how it will impact our lives. So it's something that needs to be dealt with, and cooperation is essential on it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ana. We actually have another follow-up question for Enbridge. Melanie, what else is Enbridge doing to help its customers make the transition to net zero emissions? And will gas play a role? Okay. Sorry. So let's go to Jag. Sorry about that. How did these incentives fit into Toronto Community Housing's larger vision to achieve net zero?
So once again, we're targeting a 25% reduction in energy consumption by 2028. We're approximately 40% of the way there now, but part of Enbridge's program is a significant part of how we plan our projects and look for those incentives to help us deliver those capital projects that result in those energy savings. So it's a key partnership that truly helps us drive towards that target as aggressively as possible. Certainly, if we can exceed it, we're looking to exceed that. But Enbridge's partnership is certainly helpful in our accomplishing of that goal by 2028.
Hey, thank you. We have another question for the Minister of Energy. Minister Smith, how can we balance moving to clean energy with energy affordability?
Well, we're doing that on a number of different fronts. As I was mentioning earlier today, we announced the latest local distribution company here in Essex, actually 5 of them, that are teaming up with our Green Button initiative that's going to allow consumers to take control of electricity bills, but also their natural gas bills. And they're going to be able to do this from the palm of their hands using new apps that are developed using the Green Button standard or from their desktop. So no matter if you're on the beach in Mexico or you're at the arena with your kids or sitting at your office, you'll be able to take control of your energy usage. And that's going to save you up to 18% on your energy bills. Yesterday we announced in Mississauga a really exciting ultra low electricity incentive that we're asking the OEB to report back on and give us a plan to provide this ultra low electricity price in the overnight hours when we do have an oversupply of electricity, for instance. So it'll allow for more electric vehicle adoption, because if you have a low price overnight, that's when we want people actually charging their vehicles. And I know, and it's great to see Melanie back again. And Melanie, just so you know, when your screen did freeze, you still look great, because quite often when you freeze, sometimes it's not the most flattering position, but you look great, and it's nice to have you back live again. So you can touch on some of the things I'm sure that are happening with Enbridge.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Thanks, Melanie. Let me just repeat that question. Sorry. So is the follow-up question, what else is Enbridge doing to help its customers make that transition to net zero emissions, and will gas play a role?
Thank you, Krista. Our view is that gas will definitely play a role. So the way Enbridge thinks about net zero is to think about 3 planks, really. The first one, of course, is use less energy, and that's energy efficiency. And you're seeing a great example today in terms of our collaboration, enabled by, obviously, the Minister of Energy and our regulator. The other thing is to look at how we integrate our gas and electric systems together better. So basically, it's about how we use our very clean grid in Ontario, along with lower carbon fuels in our gas mix. So this is the best of both worlds. We leverage the benefits of the gaseous energy we receive, which is very high in density and very reliable and underground infrastructure, but lower the carbon footprint of the gas that comes through that system and pair it up with renewables. So that's where our hybrid systems come into play. And the third one is really to bring, is to really look forward and think about next generation technologies. So pairing heat pump technology, let's say with hydrogen, where you get a highly efficient, non-emitting source of fuel. So there's all kinds of exciting things that are happening, and Enbridge is so proud to be able to leverage its vast infrastructure and the benefit of partnership in order to make that happen.
Absolutely. Thank you, Melanie. And we have a couple more questions, but we can take those offline. And I'll bring it back to you, Tracy.
Thank you again to everyone for attending this event, and please enjoy the rest of your day.